things about Kadeena's new BD-JB 5, which just came out, and if we go ahead and we scroll down into this, there is a little bit more information. So this is a PS5 Blu-ray disc driver, a sandbox escape, so this automatically supports remote loader, on-screen logging, and network logging. Now right here, before we go any further, this is a userland exploit, so you still need to chain it with a kernel exploit. So those of you that maybe has a 4.03 machine, you would have to chain this with labs. And I'll show you how to do this on a 4.03. But those of you on some of the higher firmwares, maybe you're on a 12.70, you're absolutely gonna need to keep using patience to jailbreak. And it's gonna take about 45 minutes. Just like it always has, this is just a brand new entry point. Now looking into this, there is a few ways to turn on the logs, as well as it does tell you that remote jar loader is listening on port 9.025. So if we scroll down into this, you can see here it says to use at 13.60 and higher firmwares. It says you need an already jailbroken PlayStation 5, and well, at 13.60 there isn't a jailbreak available for it. Now, it does state here, if you had an already jailbroken PlayStation 5, you could send over bdj_unpatch.elf to unpatch BDJ. And then again, the similar stuff that we've been doing in the past, where it just backs up some of the files, and then you're going to be able to use the BDJB dip. Now, there is a little bit more information in here, but we're gonna scroll over and go to the releases. And what we can see is that there is an ISO release. So BDJB 5.0.ISO. So you will need to have a Blu-ray burner. And I would suggest going ahead and getting image burn downloaded and installed, and put a blank disk in the drive and go ahead and burn it. Now for those of you on 13.60, again, you would need to use this file, but it's really not usable at the moment. And then we have poops for those of you that's under 12.00. Now again, you can run patience to jailbreak, but I'm just gonna show you the easiest path to success here today. Anyways, let's go ahead and switch over to the PlayStation 5 and get started. Okay, so I just powered up my PlayStation 5. And in this instance, I went ahead and powered up an older system that is on for .03. Mainly just because I wanted to be able to show you pretty quickly, and so what we will do here is went ahead and inserted the disk that we just burnt into the drive. And right there you can see it says BDJB 5.5 to DOTO by Kadena. So we'll go ahead and press play on this, okay. Right up there at the top, we can see BDJB 5.0 by Kadena triggering sandbox escape exploit. And then exploit success sandbox escape achieved. And we now have a jar loader listening over there on port 9.025. Now over here in the repo, you're gonna find we've got a poops_1.8.jar. Now you will need a way to send that over. There's a tons of ways that you can do that through the command line, etc. But if you just come over here into the project, you can see that right here is one of the ways that you can use it, which is by running the log_client.py. Now, you can obviously do that, or you can just use one of my little tools that I built, called Universal Payload Sender. I just built this, so it would work in a bunch of different operating systems. So we're going to come over here, and we are going to come into the releases, and download and send over that poops_1.8.jar. So just right over here, I've got my IP address of my PlayStation 5. And then I've got the port number, which is 9025, and for this machine, I'm just going to use. So I've just provided this jar file here. And now we're gonna go send payload. And as you can see right there, all kinds of magic is happening as this one is now ready to go. Then picking up here from the top, you can see it says receiving jar receive. And there it is running, or .bdj external.poops. And if we look down into this, you can see arbitrary read write achieved, and then cleaned up UAF file after iterations. And then PS5 all-in-one jailbreak shell code by UFM40 to OK. And so now if we go ahead and go back, if we go up and come over here to settings, and then scroll all the way down. Right there we have got debug settings running. So anyways, this is very cool and amazing stuff that we were able to set up in just a few minutes. And so now if we wanted to do things like run our PlayStation backups, well, we could do that really easily because it has already spun up an ELF loader. So now you can just point your port number to 90, 21, and then just go ahead and pick and download kstuff.elf. And if we send this payload over, and right there it is. Welcome to KStuff Lite 1.07. So now all of my backups would be working. So anyways, I just wanted to show you this on a 4.03. Obviously, if you are running this on a later firmware version, and you're using Patience to jailbreak, you're still gonna have to wait the 45 minutes for the jailbreak to happen anyways. Just thought I would share this quick and I will see you on the next one. Michael out.